Hello and welcome to another Solo Leveling Arise video. In this video I'll be covering the new 8-piece artifact sets they've put into the new update. So here we'll go ahead and head to the codex and take a look at the 3 new sets. Okay, so 3 new sets, looking at the first of them, which will be the Burning Blessing set. 2-piece of this set makes so that when you tag out, the user gains the effects of blessing to themselves and their whole team. Increases the user's damage dealt by 8%, cooldown is 25 seconds, duration is 10 seconds. This is really not good. We're expecting this to see better. Uptime on that is, that's only 40% uptime. It's pretty poor, and 8% is not that great. So looking at the 4-piece set of this, the effects of blessing is enhanced to enhanced blessing. Activates when tagging out or using a support skill. So this will activate when you're using Sun Jin Woo. This is really good. This is already better than the Outstanding Connection in terms of setting up your characters or supports for him. It increases the user's damage dealt by 10% and recovers their HP by 0.2% every 1 second. And it lasts for 10 seconds, so this heals a total of 2% of your HP. It's not a whole lot in that aspect, but the increasing of the damage by 10%, it goes up by 2% from the previous one. It is, again, has a 10-second duration, and it has a cooldown of 25 seconds. So it has a 40% uptime. Again, not that great at this point if you're using it in place of an Outstanding Connection and you're using only your hunters, but it is good when you're using it with Sun Jin Woo as the hunters for support. You are unable to also get the effect of Blessing, which means you cannot run 4-piece set on one character and 2-piece set on another character. That will not work, is what it's saying. But actually, that's kind of interesting, because the 2-piece set doesn't say anything, but the 4-piece set says something. So, with the wording, technically, you could activate a 2-piece set, but not and then a 4-piece set, but not the other way around. That will have to be tested. I'll test it in the future. We'll find out. Enhanced Blessing effect is enhanced. It's enhanced to the Burning Blessing. Burning Blessing activates when tag out or support skill is used. Increases the user damage dealt by now 20%. Still less than the Outstanding Connection, but still very good. If you are using it with Sun Jin Woo, obviously this is going to be the biggest increase of sets that you could have on someone. The only other sets that took effect when on your support hunter for Sun Jin Woo is basically just going to be the Holy Noble, or the Noble Sacrifice set, which is 8% of his attack, or the Shield set, which is 10% for a short period of time. This is better than both of them put together. So this is a really great set, especially for Sun Jin Woo, and also if you are running 2 supports on your team, you can now run the Outstanding Connection on one of the hunters, and you could run this on another hunter. Also recovers their HP still by 0.2% for every 1 second. Cooldown is 25 seconds. Unable to activate blessings or enhance blessing effects, so the previous 2 4 and 2-piece sets. And then it has a duration of 20 seconds. So now instead of it being 40% uptime, you're now looking at 80% uptime, which is fantastic. That's really good. So that's it for the set. The set basically you're just going to use on your support hunters, or if you're just focus firing on buffing up Sun Jin Woo on characters that you'll use them for, because all the other sets don't really have that much of an effect. Moving on to the Bracelet of Burning Greed set. This is going to be when the user hits a target with an attack that deals break damage, it applies Greed effect. Increases the user's critical hit rate by 1%, stacking up to 10 times. Cooldown is 1.5 seconds and duration is permanent. It's pretty nice / weird at this level. You're not really focusing on crits on breakers too much. I see this set being effective on Seo, on Bake, and also effective on Hu Jin Chol. Not that he's... it'll have to be seen if he's able to be used. But those characters are able to... They have a lot of break skills, or are able to spam break skills, either with their normal attacks or being able to spam skills. Moving on to the 4-piece set, when the greed effect stacks 10 times, it changes to Enhanced Greed. Enhanced Greed increases the user and their team members' crit hit rate by 10% and crit hit damage by 50%. This is great. This means now that your breakers can buff the rest of your team. 2-piece set is not good, but this piece, 4-piece, this is really good. Now that your breakers will be able to do a little bit more than break. This at this point though, it's not increasing how fast they break, so it's still might want to run the solid analysis over this in terms of breaking, or maybe run this on the right side and solid analysis on the left. For your 8-piece set, when attacking enemies that have elemental weakness, the break effect increases by 30%. Enhanced Greed then also changes to Burning Greed, increases the user and the team members' critical hit rate and by 50% and the critical hit damage by 30%. That's huge. This is really good. Greed becomes unavailable after Burning Greed has been activated. Enhanced Greed becomes unavailable. Duration is permanent. So this is great. So this is basically when you switch to your breaker, you're now not just like instantly swapping off of them, or you're instantly swapping off of them still, but you're getting a whole lot more out of it. This is going to be increasing everyone's stuff. So all of your breakers that you're running actively, not for DPS, I would put this on. I think that this is a perfect set for Bake. It is a good set for Sayo. And it's a good set for Wu Jinchou if you use him. I would also run this on Nam as well. She doesn't pump out this attacks with break as often or as fast, but if you're breaking super fast with her, then this is still going to be great. She'll eventually get to this buff, and that buff will greatly help the team. Moving on to the last one here, we have the Burning Curse set. Burning Curse applies the curse effect. Increases damage taken by 20%. Oh, that's a lot. Increases damage dealt by 10%, and additionally increases damage dealt by 0.1% every 1 second, stacking up to 100 times. So after 100 seconds pass after having this, you're now going to have another 10% on this, so it'll be 20% damage increase. At this point, on left side, it's not worth it based off of the set effect, as generally speaking, you'll be running the toughness set, which is going to be 32% increased critical hit damage and 8% critical hit chance. I think that outweighs this, and also this doesn't outweigh the beast set or the expert set on the right side. So I wouldn't run 2-piece too much on this. Yeah, I wouldn't run 2-piece on this set. Running 4-piece though, we'll see what this does. Applies the rescue effect. If the user has 25% HP or less, they recover 25% of their HP. Activates only once per dungeon. This is good if you're having trouble surviving, especially now that you have that 20% extra damage taken overall. Once again, this isn't going to increase your damage over the toughness set, but the base stats of these items, because they are level 78, are a lot more than they are for the current toughness set. Because just, yeah, the highest stats, I think it's about 30% increase from what I saw. I'll look at it more, but the initial findings is that the base stats on the set, the new sets, is about 30% higher, maybe even more. So take that into account. If you don't have a good set or good substats on these, do not run this over the toughness set if you have good stats. If for 4-piece and 2-piece, of course. For the 8-piece set, the curse effect enhances to Burning Curse. So referring back to the 2-piece set, increases the user's damage taken by 20%. Oh, yeah, that stayed the same. Increases the user's damage dealt by 30%, and additionally increases damage dealt by 0.2% every 1 second, and stacks up 100 times. So now this is going to be after 100 seconds, so a minute and 40 seconds into the fight, is going to be doing an immense amount of damage of 50% damage. This is huge. This is really great. It's great, but I have to say, if toughness and expert set, if you have better stats on them, I would not run this set. The 32% increased damage, and then the expert set versus 50%, so that maxes out at 50. that maxes out at 50, and the expert set does not max out at all. A minute and 40 seconds into the fight, typically you have about 30 stacks of this. 30 stacks is going to be, what, that's 48% damage? Yeah. So if the substats aren't good on the new set, aren't comparable to what your current expert set is, I would not run that AP set. So be very careful with when you go to run that on Sun Jin Woo. If it doesn't have good stats on it, then that set's capping only at 50%. It doesn't come anywhere near what the expert set does in terms of just the set effects. Alright, so that's it for the new sets. Once again, I hope you guys found this video informative and it helps you out becoming a better hunter. That sounds so cheesy. Anyways, I hope you found this informative. Hope you liked the video. Please comment what you guys thought of this, or if I missed anything. Criticism, I love criticism all the time. If I said something wrong, please correct me. Besides that, everyone take care, and I'll see you in the next video.